Folks, I just woke up. I literally just got out of bed. I haven't showered yet. It was a late night last night. There's Italian family drama happening. Madonna mia, I cannot handle this stuff. I'm drinking my Zevia Cola because I'm trying to be a healthier individual. It's actually kind of good. Shout out to Zevia. Hook up that sponsorship deal. But people, my phone has been blowing up all morning. And I'm like, please leave me alone. I need a few hours of sleep. But then I looked at my phone and realized why. The Nintendo Switch Lite has finally been revealed. No, it is not the Nintendo Switch Mini. It is the Nintendo Switch Lite. We got our first look at the system. We got details about the system as well, and there's definitely a lot of stuff to uncover with this system and a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk about the things that I like about the Nintendo Switch Lite. I want to talk about the things that maybe I'm not too sold on with the Nintendo Switch Lite. So that's what we're going to do in this video. The Nintendo Switch Lite has been revealed. The worst kept secret in video games has finally been announced. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's jump into everything we know about the Nintendo Switch Lite. So for the past few weeks, a lot of different retailers across the globe have been listing product listings for the Nintendo Switch Mini, thus pretty much saying that this system is real, it's going to be coming out soon. Of course, the Wall Street Journal, Neki have reported that a Nintendo Switch Mini revision is indeed coming, and this morning Nintendo finally talked about their new Nintendo Switch system, the Nintendo Switch Lite. Now it's kind of interesting how they're going with the Lite route, much like we saw with the Nintendo DS. You had the Nintendo DS and you had the Nintendo DS Lite, and the Nintendo DS Lite was definitely an upgrade versus the original Nintendo DS. There were a lot of better things about that system, comparatively speaking, than the standard Nintendo DS, but that's not really the case with the Nintendo Switch Lite. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch Lite is intended to be for that 3DS marketplace. Maybe that 3DS marketplace that hasn't made the transition over to the Nintendo Switch yet. So a mini system, a light system, if you will, for the Nintendo Switch at a lower price point would definitely be very attractive, especially with the second half of the season coming up as far as game releases are concerned, and you have things like Pokemon on the horizon, and of course Animal Crossing, which are going to be two games that are definitely very huge and that Nintendo fans will want to pick up and play on the go. So this morning we got a video, a 6+ minute presentation on the Nintendo Switch Lite. We got our first look at the system, and the first thing I looked at with this system was the fact that, remember that turquoise looking Nintendo Switch system that we saw that many people wrote off? Well, there's a color for the Nintendo Switch Lite that is turquoise. So maybe that was actually the real Nintendo Switch Mini leak all along. Obviously, there's been a lot of Switch leaks about the Nintendo Switch Mini, which is now, of course, known as the Nintendo Switch Lite. And a lot of people assume that that turquoise one was the fakest out of all of them, including myself. I didn't really think that was necessarily a real thing. It was something we talked about on the channel, but it felt like it could have just been a skin. But considering the fact that this turquoise color is available as one of the colors for the Nintendo Switch Lite, I think maybe there was some more credence to that. Now, obviously, that crazy rendition that we saw of the Nintendo Switch Lite was not a real thing. I definitely never thought it was a real thing. It was just something that I wanted to talk about to sort of bring to your guys' attention an artist rendition of the system. Now, of course, we have to talk about what the price point of the Nintendo Switch Lite is. The Nintendo Switch Lite is a $200 price point system, which is what a lot of us anticipated with this system. Of course, with a $200 price point, some features have been removed from the standard Nintendo Switch. You no longer have HD rumble or IR control support, meaning there are no motion controls, and the Joy-Cons are not really Joy-Cons. They are attached to the system. So pretty standard stuff when it comes to what we expected with the Nintendo Switch Lite. I think that was definitely a very smart cost-cutting measure. I like HD rumble. I think it's cool, but it's definitely not something that is necessarily needed. A lot of companies and game companies don't really utilize the HD rumble really to its full potential or anything like that. So I don't think it's necessarily a big deal that that's being cut out. Obviously, games like 1-2 Switch really utilized the HD rumble capabilities, but that wasn't a really good game anyways. It was just essentially a tech demo for the Nintendo Switch. So I won't miss the necessity of HD rumble with these games. The fact that the system does not have detachable Joy-Cons, though, is interesting. They actually talked about that games that support or require additional Joy-Cons in tabletop mode will have to be having additional Joy-Cons. So if you want to play a game like 1-2 Switch, you actually can can on the Nintendo Switch Mini, but you have to have an additional set of Joy-Cons. Now, where things get very interesting, and I think is going to cause a bit of controversy, is the fact that the Nintendo Switch Lite cannot be docked. Yes, folks, this system is a strictly portable handheld system, and that's going to raise some red flags with a lot of people. I don't think it's necessarily a huge deal. I do play my Nintendo Switch a lot in portable mode. I'm probably about 50-50, maybe 60-40 to portable mode, just because I like to be able to sit on my couch or sit at my computer desk and play some Nintendo Switch while I'm working on something to sort of distract myself. But I can definitely see that being a point of contention with people, because the Nintendo Switch, in its name, is a system that is designed to be played on your television and to be played in handheld mode. That's the Switch of the Nintendo Switch. So to take away the ability to play on the television is admittedly a pretty big deal. Do I think a third-party company could be coming along and working on something that will allow you to play your Nintendo Switch on your television? I definitely think so. I think that's something that a company really needs to try to get the jump on, because I think that would be very successful if you're able to offer an extension or an accessory for your Nintendo Switch Lite that allows you to connect to your television, and that will be really cool in my opinion, and I think that would be very lucrative for a company as well. Now, one thing I really like about the Nintendo Switch Lite is the fact that they got rid of the directional buttons and replaced it with a standard D-pad, and it's kind of like, why haven't you done this with the standard Nintendo Switch already? Like, this is a big deal. This is very cool. That D-pad looks very nice. It looks very juicy. Yes, a juicy D-pad. Like I said, people, I'm still like half asleep here, so my adjectives and shit are probably just all over the place. But yeah, that D-pad I think looks very nice. Of course, this system is slimmer than the standard Nintendo Switch. This is a system that is designed to be put into your pocket. It is more lightweight as well. Now, Nintendo has an official website up for the Nintendo Switch Lite that compares it to the standard Nintendo Switch, and there's definitely some things on here that we need to talk about. So first off, it shows you the different ways you can play the standard Nintendo Switch, of course in TV mode, tabletop mode, and in handheld mode. But with the Nintendo Switch Lite, it is only in handheld mode, so you actually can't even play it in tabletop mode. And once again, that's sort of taking away a main feature of the Nintendo Switch. Do I feel like people use the tabletop mode as much as people like to let on? Probably not, but it is always nice to have the option there. Of course, the Joy-Cons are not HD rumble, and they are not IR motion cameras, so you don't have those motion capabilities with them because they are built into the system. And of course, you cannot dock this system, which is something we've already talked about with the Nintendo Switch Lite. Now, as far as the specs of the system go, you can see that comparatively speaking, it is much smaller than the standard Nintendo Switch. Obviously, it has more of a form factor design to the system, and I think it looks more like a PS Vita style as far as a size system is concerned compared to the Nintendo Switch that we have. Now, of course, this is lighter than the Nintendo Switch system that we have now. About 20 grams were shaved off of it, so that's pretty cool. And the screen is actually smaller than the standard Nintendo Switch screen. The standard Nintendo Switch screen is a 6.2-inch LCD at 1280 by 720p resolution, and the new Nintendo Switch Lite is a 5.5-inch LCD screen and 1280 by 720 resolution. Now, of course, there was that rumor that the Nintendo Switch Lite or Nintendo Switch Mini was going to have a 1080p screen. We actually covered it on the channel a few days ago, but it looks like that rumor was unsubstantiated, and that's kind of a disappointment for me, because I feel like with all the new stuff going on with Nvidia and all the improvements on the Tegra, like, this is something that Nintendo could have capitalized on when it came to this Nintendo Switch Lite. It seems sort of like a lost opportunity. And then finally, they talk about the battery life, and once again, it doesn't necessarily seem like the battery life of the Nintendo Switch Lite has really been all that much improved. It says that both systems can last about 6 hours or so, but it depends on what you're playing, the usage conditions, and what game you're playing. So once again, like, that's another thing that I feel Nintendo really should have capitalized on with the battery life of the system. What people really wanted in a portable handheld system is an additional battery life, an extended battery life, as comparative to the standard Nintendo Switch. Sometimes it seems like the Nintendo Switch, after 2 or 3 hours, your battery is depleted. I hope that this does have an improved battery life. It doesn't look like it necessarily does, but there could be things that Nintendo themselves have not said about this system yet that can extend the battery life of this system. So all in all, I am interested in the Nintendo Switch Lite from a review perspective, I feel. I think it's going to be a very interesting system to get my hands on and check out and review this system. Go over the differences, compare it size-wise, see if the screen has been improved any, see if they've done any additional features that maybe they didn't really talk about with this video and the subsequent announcement update. But I will say I would have liked to have seen a better battery life. I do hope that the battery life is more extended than what they're leading on versus the Nintendo Switch. Maybe they're just sort of playing coy with that because they don't want to sort of cannibalize the portable sales of the Nintendo Switch system, but I do feel like that's something that should have been a focus of this system. I'm also interested to see if the screen has been improved any. Obviously, it's going to have the same resolution, but we've seen things like that before. Compare the Nintendo DS to the Nintendo DS Lite screen, and you can see it was a night and day sort of thing. It definitely improved upon the screen, so I want to see if there's any upgrades as far as that is concerned, where they're not going to talk about it, but once you get your hands on it, you definitely see it. But I think the Nintendo Switch Lite is a smart thing at the end of the day. You want more options for people. A $200 price point entry is a good price point when it comes to this system, and I think it's going to be very popular and very successful. But yes, the Nintendo Switch Lite is real. We all knew it was real, but now we actually see it. And I think Nintendo saw all these Nintendo Switch Mini rumors and was like, they keep saying Nintendo Switch Mini. We gotta call it the Lite. We gotta call it the Lite. But folks, that is the Nintendo Switch Lite. It has been revealed. We have reacted to it. We have talked about it. And obviously, we're gonna have subsequent videos on this as we get more information on this system. So let me know in the comments section down below what you think of the Nintendo Switch Lite. Is this what you wanted from a dedicated handheld portable Nintendo Switch model? Did you wish that additional things were added or taken away? And what do you think about the system itself? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm about to hop in the shower and try to wake up a little bit, drink my Zevia Cola because I'm trying to be a healthy person. And as always, folks, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.